Picture the weakest animal in the forest. Slow. No claws, no fangs, no fur. Soft skin, bad night vision, and a body that breaks easily. That animal was you, 100,000 years ago. By every rule of nature, humans should have been an easy snack. Cave lions, giant bears, hyenas the size of wolves, all faster and stronger than us. We were on the menu. And yet, somehow, the prey became the thing predators started to fear. Not with muscle. With strategy, fire, weapons, and pure, cold intelligence. These are the 10 most brilliant things ancient humans did to outsmart their predators. And number one is the moment we stopped being food and became something animals learned to avoid. Let's start with number 10. Number 10. Using fire as a wall no predator would cross. For most of history, the dark belonged to the hunters. Human eyes are weak at night, and that's exactly when the big cats came looking. Then humans mastered fire and everything shifted. Almost every animal has a deep, instinctive terror of flames. A burning campfire became an invisible fence that predators refused to step through. So humans kept the fire alive all night, taking turns feeding it. The light pushed the darkness back and exposed anything creeping closer. The heat kept them warm and the flames kept them safe. A single fire turned a vulnerable, blind camp into a fortress. Predators would circle it all night, hungry and furious, and never find a way in. Number 9. Sleeping where nothing could reach them. An animal is never more helpless than when it's asleep. And humans needed hours of it every single night. So they got picky about where they closed their eyes. They slept deep in caves with only one narrow entrance to guard. They climbed to high ledges and rocky spots a heavy predator couldn't easily reach. They slept in tight groups, bodies packed together, with someone always on watch. The genius was in the geography. Choose a spot with one way in, and you only have one direction to defend. A whole tribe could rest while a couple of guards watched a single doorway. Predators want an easy kill. Humans made themselves the hardest possible target, even while unconscious. Number 8. Making themselves look bigger than they were. A lone human is small and quiet, an easy target. But humans figured out how to hack a predator's brain using nothing but noise and numbers. When a big cat or a pack got close, humans didn't scatter. They bunched together, raised their arms, waved branches, and screamed. They banged rocks and sticks, stamped the ground, and made themselves into one loud, chaotic, oversized monster. To a predator, size and confidence signal danger. An animal that stands its ground and roars back might not be worth the risk. Most hunters look for weakness, not a fight. By faking strength as a group, humans turned themselves from an easy meal into a threat that just wasn't worth the injury. Number 7. Killing from a distance so they never had to fight fair. Fighting a lion up close is a death sentence. Humans knew it. So they refused to play that game at all. Instead, they invented reach. Sharpened spears let them strike before the claws could reach them. Then came thrown spears and spear throwers that added terrifying force. Eventually, the bow let a human kill from far across open ground. This was the real revolution. A weak, clawless creature could now injure or kill a powerful beast without ever touching it. Distance erased the predator's biggest advantages, its strength and its jaws. Humans stopped fighting like animals and started fighting like engineers, striking from a safe range and letting sharpened points do the work their bodies never could. Number 6. Studying their enemies like a book. Humans had one weapon no animal could match. A brain built to learn, remember, and predict. So they watched the predators obsessively. They learned when the cats hunted and when they slept. They read tracks in the mud to know what was nearby and how recently. They memorized the calls, the smells, and the patterns of every dangerous animal around them. Knowledge became armor. If you know a predator hunts at dusk near the river, you simply aren't there at dusk. If you can read a fresh paw print, you know to leave before you ever see the animal. Humans turned observation into survival, avoiding fights they could see coming, using memory as a shield against teeth they never had to meet. Number 5. Recruiting the enemy's cousin to guard them. Here's the clever part. Humans didn't just fight predators, they hired one. Early dogs, still close to wolves, had senses far beyond anything human. They could hear a big cat sneaking through the brush and smell an intruder long before any person noticed. So humans fed them, kept them close, and let them stay. In return, the dogs gave warning. A sleeping camp with dogs was a camp that couldn't be ambushed. The moment a predator crept near, the barking started, the fire got stoked, and the spears came out. Humans used one animal's superior senses to defend against all the others. It was the ultimate alliance, borrowed instincts standing guard while the whole tribe slept. Number 4, ganging up to break bigger animals. One human is prey. 20 coordinated humans are something else entirely. Ancient people learned to hunt and fight as a single unit. They surrounded larger animals, wore them down, and attacked from angles the beast couldn't defend all at once. They took turns pressing and retreating, exhausting an animal that could never focus on so many threats. This teamwork flipped the math of survival. A predator built to fight one enemy has no answer for a dozen brains working together. Humans couldn't win a solo battle, so they simply refused to fight solo. Cooperation was their claws and fangs. A tribe that moved as one could bring down animals many times its size and make predators think twice about starting anything. Number 3, turning the landscape into a weapon. Why risk your body fighting a beast when the land can do the killing for you? Ancient humans became masters of terrain. They drove animals toward cliffs and stampeded whole herds off the edge. They dug pit traps and covered them, waiting for something heavy to fall in. They funneled prey into narrow canyons, bogs, and dead ends where escape was impossible. This was hunting without the danger. The trap does the work and the human just collects the result. It also worked on defense, using rivers, ledges, and rough ground to block anything chasing them. Humans didn't just live in the environment. They weaponized it, letting gravity, mud, and stone fight battles their soft bodies never could. Number 2, building a reputation written in blood. And this is where it gets truly chilling. Humans didn't just defend themselves, they made themselves dangerous to remember. When a predator attacked one human, the group didn't just mourn. They responded. They tracked the animal, hunted it down, and killed it. Sometimes days later. One attack could bring fire, spears, and a coordinated group hunting you across your own territory. Over time, this taught predators a brutal lesson. Attacking a human wasn't a quick meal. It was a risk that could end with your entire species being hunted in return. Animals that avoided humans survived and passed that fear on. We didn't just win individual fights. We built a reputation so deadly that avoiding us became an instinct baked into other species. And number 1, the greatest victory of all, we stopped being prey. Because this is where the entire food chain flipped upside down. For most of our history, humans were something to be eaten. But slowly, across thousands of years, all of it stacked up. The fire, the weapons, the traps, the teamwork, the reputation. And the predators started to change their behavior. They began avoiding us. Given the choice, most large predators would rather leave a human alone than risk the fire, the spears, and the vengeance of the group. We became too costly to hunt. That's why even today, most wild animals flee at the sight of a person. We never grew claws or fangs. We never got faster or stronger. We just got smarter together until the deadliest hunters on Earth decided we weren't worth the trouble. The prey didn't just survive. The prey became the one thing everything else learned to fear. So, the next time a wild animal bolts the second it sees you, understand what you're witnessing. That fear isn't natural. It was earned painfully over thousands of years by ancestors who refused to stay on the menu. They had no claws, no fangs, and no speed. They had fire, each other, and a brain that never stopped scheming. And that was enough to conquer a world that was built to eat them. If this fired you up, you're going to love the next one, where we reveal every shocking thing ancient humans did to get high, long before bars, pharmacies, or parties existed. Tap the screen and let's keep going.